What's up, Abu fam? It's me, your main boo, back at it again, and today's video is gonna be a very exciting one, okay? I realized I was doing something in my makeup routine that I haven't really explained to you guys, and it's made a huge difference on like the overall effect, how it looks in person. It's huge, so you know I had to sit down and film it for you guys. But before we begin, do you guys see these brows? Okay, if you have not seen my last YouTube video, you need to watch that after this. I discovered this product. I've been using it on my eyebrows. It has changed the game for me, okay? I've been having like a good brow day every day, and that's rare for me. It really is. Anyways, I did something, okay? You know, it may not be a big deal to you, but it's a huge deal to me. It makes my makeup look so much more bomb in person, and that's what it's all about, okay? Don't be distracted by these lights and stuff. At the end of the day, it's all about how it looks in person. So today, I want you to forget, yes, I said forget, what I have told you about contouring and bronzing or what you have been told by someone else, and just listen up to these tips and these tricks that I got up my sleeve. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, which is an all-in-one platform where you can build a beautiful online business, and there will be more information at the end of this video. Oh, hey there. I'm getting you guys up close and personal today, okay? I want you to really see what's going on. So I feel like the foundational teachings of contouring are all pretty similar, right? You're either gonna do the 3, which is something that I do all the time, but especially when it comes to cheekbones, most people put their contouring or are taught to put their contour right where you see that crease. So I've been basically doing that, just going about my life thinking my contour looked good. But now I look back at my videos and I'm just like, ugh. No, don't get me wrong, it looked fine, but it wasn't like next level. Like even in person, it kind of looked eh. I'm someone who doesn't have insanely prominent cheekbones. You can kind of see the line here, but sometimes we just gotta fake it till we make it. So there is one main thing that I've been doing that's gonna really make your contour go from eh to like sorry, that was gross. But before I do that, I'm gonna give you 3 main tips that are really gonna maximize your results. And I promise you, if these don't help you in the slightest way, you can go ahead and smash that unsubscribe button, and that's on confidence. So these tips are simple, and the first one is to grab a setting spray or a skin mist. I love this one by Farsali. I picked it up from Sephora. I've been using it every single day since. It really like just makes all the products on your face blend together so nicely, and it makes you feel very refreshed when you spray it on. But most importantly, because it moisturizes your face, it's gonna give you more leverage with your product. They're gonna go on a little bit more buttery and not so dry. When your face is dry and you put on contouring products, I just find that it's harder to blend and it looks a little chalky. So I promise you, products will just glide on a lot better, and the MAC Fix Plus is also really good for this. My next tip, and I feel like this is very important because I don't think it's talked about enough, and I feel like people are just kind of expected to know the difference, but there's a big difference between bronzing and contouring. It's very easy. Basically, the difference is contouring is going to be a shade that has a little bit more of gray tones in it, and you're actually trying to mimic the shade of like the shadows on your face. Bronzing is going to be more of like a yellow tone shade, and that's going to make you look overall more tan. So I just wanted to clarify that before starting. And my third tip is whatever you're doing on your face, make sure that you're brushing in an upwards motion always, okay? You don't want to go side to side. You don't want to go round to round. You just want to go in an upwards motion. You want everything to be going this way, or else your face is going to look droopy. So those are my initial 3 main tips. Live them, love them, breathe them. And now we are moving on to the main event. On the left side of my face, I'm going to show you guys what I did, and on my right side, I'm going to show you what I do now, so you guys can really see the difference. I know you guys like seeing that. So on my left side, I'm going to show you how I usually would contour, and I'm not exaggerating. This is actually what I would do. So my old routine is to just take a contour stick. Remember, contour is for more of like shading, and this one is by Fenty Beauty in the shade Espresso, and then I would just take any contour palette. So what I would do is kind of just make a 3 on my face, like so. And kind of go below my neck. And then what I do is just go in with like a stippling brush like this, and kind of just use that to blend it all in. Also, something I noticed about this product is if your face isn't moisturized, then it's kind of hard to blend this out. So keep that in mind. And then I would kind of like bring it up so it acts like a blush a little bit. And then I would just grab a sponge and use it to blend that out. And then next what I do is go in with my Clay Play palette, and this is in the shade Desert, so it's more of like a bronzy shade. And I dip my Sigma F40 brush. I use the same brush even for my new routine. This is like a nice angled brush. And dip that in. Just kind of tap the product along my cheekbone. And then I'd like to go into this shade called Terracotta, which is like more of a gray tone, and kind of just add that to the cheekbone just to give it some like extra shadow. All right, so not horrible, definitely not up to my current standard. I definitely went clubbing like this a few times, or quite the dozen. But now I'm gonna show you my new and improved way. So remember, I didn't start off with spraying my face. I kind of just went in dry with a brush. So on this right side, I'm gonna take my Farsali spray and kind of just drench this area. So now what I do is use 2 different cream products and just a tiny bit of powder. So I'm going in with this Milk Makeup in the shade Baked, and then the same one, Espresso by Fenty Beauty. So instead of contouring first and then bronzing, I like to start off with my bronzer. So now what I'm about to show you is what I've been talking about this entire video. Thank God we're finally here. So with the 3 method, and I just feel like in general, we're kind of taught to go along the cheekbone where your natural crease is, and then along where your jawline is, and then your forehead. I find that no matter how much I'm brushing up the product, it always ends up drooping into this area, and it's so important for this area to stay clean and sharp. I cannot stress that enough. Even if I placed it in the right way, for some reason it would just slowly melt down my face if I wanted it to be like lasting all day or even all night. So now what I've been doing is taking my bronzer and my contour and putting it on top of my cheekbone, like almost an inch above higher than I usually would. So we're gonna go in right about here. So this is usually where I'd be putting my highlighter. I never used to put the product this high up, but let me just show you the way it looks. So forehead is pretty much the same. I kind of just like to keep it to the sides, and I really want to make sure that this area, at least right here, notice how on this entire side I kind of just put the bronzer all over. It ended up making my forehead all one color, but you want the center of the forehead to still be light. So I try to keep the bronzer up here. Then same thing with the jawline. I try to go right on top of my jawline, and right here it kind of droops lower. I want this to be more of like a straight line, so I'm actually going to go along the line. So this is where we have our bronzer right now. I'm going to go in with that same brush. I'm actually going to wipe off the brush because it has a lot of product on it. So just taking that brush and being so careful about it. Every time I make a stroke up, I let my brush off my face. I don't make like any type of circular motions. And as I go further towards my cheekbone, I don't want to bring the product all the way down here. I want it to just kind of fade out as it gets towards here. And then I kind of scoop it just a tad on my cheekbone. Then with my forehead, just making sure it doesn't touch this area right here. And then with the jawline, I kind of just like to tap in motion until it's blended out. And then huge tip that I did on this side that I don't do anymore is dragging the product all the way down my neck. You don't need to do that, okay? Your neck should be the same color as your chest and your face, and you just want that shadow right along your jawline to bring more attention to it. So at this point now, I just take my sponge and just blend that in, and then very slightly go in and also blend that in. All right, so I want you to pay really close attention to what's happening here. See how when I placed the product right here, it ended up dragging down all the way to where my cheekbone starts and just being placed in the perfect position, not going way too far down. If you notice on this side, it just ended up dragging all the way down here. It looks chalky, it looks messy, but right here we managed to just keep it right in that area. It already looks 10 times better, but let's move on to the next step. Now we're gonna take the contour stick. Remember, this is the more gray tone, and I'm going to use this product so minimally that you're barely gonna see it's there. The purpose is to just make it look as natural as possible, and you want it to look like it's your actual cheekbone. We don't want like dark ass lines on our face. No. Again, I'm taking this product and I would say I'm going about ½ an inch above where my crease is, and we're gonna put on just the slightest amount. Like that much is enough. I'm gonna put 2 little dots here and kind of just like dotted lines. Again, we're going to go in with the same brush, same thing, and brush upwards on the cheekbone. So I always believe that in order to get a defined look that you should use more gray tones, and I kind of just stayed away from those orangey yellow tones because I didn't want to look over the top. I didn't want it to look fake. But recently I've realized that kind of just putting a little bit of bronzer and then being really minimal with where you're putting those gray tone products, because even though it may look good in pictures or it may look good for a couple hours, this is what really lasts, and this is what looks the most natural and best in person. And then my final step to just set that product into place is just, I'm going to take the same palette and the same brush, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of desert, and we're not going to overdo it with the powder. We're just putting it on to set the product into place and just using tapping upward motions. Alright, and that is basically it. I hope you guys benefited from this video as much as I did. These are just things that I'm learning along the way. Nothing is really wrong or right. I just find that this looks better, it makes you look more snatched, so why not try it? I can see such a huge difference in my face. This side is just messy and cakey, and this side is just like, you know, it just really emphasizes my cheekbones nicely. The forehead area, making sure that this area is clear. This area, the neck, you know, there's just, the tips are just endless. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you're looking for a place to make your own beauty blog or sell your own products, Squarespace is the one for you. It's so easy, it's time effective, and anyone can do it. You can link your YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you can even set up email campaigns. I made my own website and it was so easy and quick, and if you're looking for a place to really unify your brand, this is a great start. So if you're interested, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And once you're ready to launch, head over to squarespace.com/sagoniamlazarof for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.